It's Miss T, and this is our fourth lesson about the pop artist Roy Lichtenstein. And today's lesson is about his piece of work called Sunrise. This is pop art by Roy. I want you to see that today we're going to focus on, let me turn that light a little bit. We are going to focus on solid bands of color. And we're going to see that these solid bands of color and these mass grouping of dots, the Ben-Day dots, which he's famous for, create a pictorial sense of space. We see our rivers, we see our mountains, we see our clouds, and we see that the sun is rising. I don't know why that's on there. So he painted this in 1965. After he started painting, after the comic strip inspired pop art that he did, after that he went into landscapes. So he painted a lot of landscapes, and this particular landscape, this sold for $165 million. Just so you understand how big pop art was and how big Roy was in that field of art. So we're going to work on our sunrise. You're going to need your red, yellow, blue, and black, your piece of paper, blank paper. So the Ben-Day dots are what he's famous for. And then something else that he did is he created a rotating easel. So he could put his easels on there, and when they rotated, he could paint sideways, upside down. So he could just rotate the easel and manipulate that canvas how he needed it to. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me turn this. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go over here. So always get that piece of paper underneath your blank one in case you have to go off the edge of the paper, you don't get it all over the table. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create our horizon. We're going to create that river, the mountains and the river. So we're going to first what you're going to do is just kind of draw that horizon line hilly. And then we're going to, now when you do this, there's certain parts of it, I want you to add a little bit of extra thickness to it. So we're going to fill this in. So come across on some of these hills or mountains, and I want you to darken that in. This gives it depth. And this is also what we see in sunrise. Okay, now throughout this, we're going to just bring out like our river space. So we're going to just draw lines that connect through here. And you can draw these any way that you choose to. And you can even, if you want to really take a good look at, oh boy, how his look, I'm kind of modifying mine on that also. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to color those in. And I'm going to show you, oh no, I went ahead and did that so we could get that one out of the way, because it does take time to color this in while I am showing y'all how to do it. All right, so you've colored this in. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to realize that that sun is in the center of our paper. So you're not going to draw a complete circle. You're going to draw something a little bit larger than like a half circle right there. Now we're going to draw our cloud work around this. So we're just going to draw those big billowy clouds. And then in between this, you're going to put the volume lines. So we're going to bring this down. And I'm going to come over here on this side and draw those volume, the big billowy. And then inside it here, I'm going to put those cloud lines. Okay. Next, we're going to come up here to the top. don't know why it's so dark on this side. There we go. I don't have it turned very well, the light. We're going to come up here and we're going to draw, when the sun rises, it casts its rays of light up here at the top. But let's go ahead and take our line and just, don't draw it super straight, but put a little bit of curve to it. And then right up here, it gets narrow. Our sun's rays are narrow when it comes off from the sun, but as they project upward, it gets wider. So just remember, when you do these angles, you're going to start narrow at the bottom, and then the sun rays are going to get wider up at the top. So we're going to bring that through. And then I want you to do one right through the cloud. And just realize that sun ray will come right underneath that cloud. All right, so let's practice this. Okay, and I'm going to do one over here. And I know it looks tricky, but there it is. Now, the big thing is getting our color in here. When we do these dots, when you do the dots, they have to be uniform. So just remember that when you bring them, just follow a line. The line can curve, and the bigger the dot, the quicker it goes. If you do a bunch of tiny dots, and I'm going to show you something else in a little bit. So you're going to fill this in with your red. We are going to color in our sun solid. So this will be a solid sun. He used bold colors. And then what I want to show you is you're going to take, I'm going to kind of do sections of this, and then I'll show you the finished product. But inside of these are just going to be yellow. And if you take the side, if you do have a marker and you take the side of it, see, I think I colored the wrong one, and that's going to happen. But it's going to be okay, because I will show you how we can fix that. No, or actually I didn't color the wrong one. So we're just making our beams come out like this. And then, so you see that when I take this right here and I do these long lines, I don't have to sit here and do this. I can really mark up and ink up my page and then just come back over the white spots that I need to fill in. So you're going to color this. Now, I want to show you that when you come in to your clouds, this is where you're going to, we're not going to fill this in completely with dots. You're just going to take your dots and you're going to make your pattern right on the inside of the contours of the clouds. It's kind of like shading. It gives them, and then, you can press. Just don't press too hard or you'll ruin the tip of your marker. But you're going to come in and just pick outlines and go around and shade those in like that. And then this space, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. Here's the finished piece. Finished piece is going to look like this. So I'm going to tell you, be very, very careful when you draw your rays of sunshine. I would even take my yellow and I would just kind of mark it so you don't get confused about which one to color and which one not to color. But now if you do make that mistake, it's completely okay. And then you're going to use your Ben-Day dots and you're just going to fill these in. Now you see how I did a lot tinier Ben-Day dots here? So you can go smaller, but just try to make them uniform. And then these ones were larger. But this is called sunrise. And you can be able to add it to your wall of pop art. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy this lesson and have a good time making it. And I will see you tomorrow.